My name is Eugene. It's fun to be here. It's an interesting experience, both old and new for me. My background is actually in Atlassian ecosystem for more than 12 years. I was working on an app called Structure. Maybe some of you have heard about it. That's how I actually met Alex, our host, as he was helping one of our clients. But today I'm representing another company which is not even in the Atlassian ecosystem, so we are expanding a little bit with this event. The company is called JetBrains, and so far we've seen quite a few people who recognize JetBrains' name. I'm curious how many people in the audience know what JetBrains do? Well, quite a few. So, yeah, for those who don't, JetBrains, we make best in the world IDEs, like IntelliJ for IntelliJ IDEA, and pretty much for any other language, and including our own programming language, Kotlin. But the company has been around for a long time, founded in 2000. We're actually pretty big. We have 2,200 people, even more. We have more than 11 million customers, but active users. But today we are going to talk about YouTrack. So how many people here have heard that name? Yeah. So yeah, we've noticed. So this app, unfortunately, was staying a little bit in the shadow of its bigger brothers and sisters. But we want to change that. And YouTrack, it's a project management app, or maybe you can even call it a platform, that allows you to support pretty much any process. It can be development process, it can be operations, HR, legal. But today we're going to focus on developers, and that's where YouTrack started. It was the app that we initially developed for our own engineering teams. And you can usually feel that. And in that spirit, I figured why not just do a live demo to show how it works. So apologies, I'll be looking at the screen. And I'll try to make it quick and snappy, so it might take a while. This is the first time I'm doing it. I joined the company a month ago. Took me a while to figure out. I was scared first, like, how can I fill 20 minutes? What am I going to show? In the end, I had to struggle to what am I going to cut? Because there are so many cool things inside of it. So let's take a look. This is what it looks like. If you use Jira, pretty familiar. We have all the usual things like dashboards, agile boards, Gantt charts. We also have our own knowledge base that you can use. We have help desk built in. But the most common question we were getting today, what is it that makes us special and different? And I'll try to demonstrate that here in real life. And I would say that for me, it was also like a discovery journey. I was like, what is it that we're, because I know Jira pretty well. I have some professional deformation. I had to let go of some of the concepts and learn some new ones. And I'll try to convey what I've learned. So I would say YouTrack, one of the biggest benefits is that it can be super lightweight. You can configure it to be really minimalistic. If you don't want too many things, you can start super small. And for the example, I'm going to use, imagine we were using just a spreadsheet where we track some tasks, and we decided, okay, it's time to move to something more serious. Hope it's okay, you can see things, right? So we can start by just importing a project. Okay, we're going to do new import. In this case, we're going to pull data from a CSV file. So we just need a URL and hope it works. Oh, it did. So it found our project. And as we start our import, it basically tries to figure out what is it in that columns. We can help YouTrack a little bit by adding some comments, what type of data is there. And once it finishes, we get our project ready. And I want to take you through some of the key parts of the project so you can get a general idea. So the project, imagine we are building an app for YouTrack. You can build those. That gives us some information about the user from their Slack account inside our Agile board. But let's take a look at what we got as a result of this quick import. So there are some basic things like project name, ID, the owner. You can configure access. The users get imported as well. You can decide who is on the team. Let's add myself, for example. And you have all the sophisticated configuration for visibility, for permissions, and everything like that. This is the interesting part, fields. So we just pull the fields from the CSV file, and you can see we only got 5 fields, and that's basically everything we have right now. You can notice we don't even have the type, because we didn't have it. So YouTrack doesn't kind of enforce anything on you. You can start super minimalistic. We can quickly check what type of fields it picked up. So priority, single value, it cannot be empty, so we want to change that real quick and pick a default value. The state, yeah, we use this technical term instead of status by default, but you can rename it, of course. It also cannot be empty, and it's going to be open. And we might want to do a quick fix, like fixed is one of the resolved types. So as you can see, basically all the fields are the same. They're just fields of different types, and we can decide how we want to use them and for what methods. So there is no there are templates where it's already been predefined, but if you want to start from scratch, you have that. With assignees, for example, you can have single value or multiple value. In my time back with AllenWorks, we had that request quite a few times. So with YouTrack, you can actually have multiple assignees if you want to. Date time, let's just switch to date. And story points, let's do integers instead of float. So that's it. We've configured the fields for the project. Since we're talking about developers, integration with VCS is a big thing. Let's add that real quick. I have a small repository here. Notifications, also you can configure those and have emails sent to people at specific event that you want, to specific people, pretty customizable. So you can cut the unwanted ones. There is integration with build server. Time tracking, it's there out of the box. Let's imagine we want it. We can pick which field we want to use for estimation and time spent. And we also have what we call work item attributes, like categories where the time goes. So you can separate by development testing or like CapEx, OpEx. Or maybe if you are supporting multiple clients, you can log time to different clients and see that in the report later. And then the really powerful thing here that we have, it's called workflows. That's basically where you define all the logic, how the fields should behave. And again, it's a developer-focused tool first. Like the most cool way to do it is by creating these workflows and defining them through simple JavaScript. So for example, in this case, is the workflow that closes the parent when all the children are fixed. So you don't have to find somewhere in UI how to configure this. You just describe the logic that you want, and it just works. So, and you can build really complex workflows and rules and automations. Again, you have the freedom to write it yourself. You don't have to learn how to do it through the interface. But we also have a simple way to do it. So once you define a workflow, you can apply it to multiple projects. So you don't have to rewrite it, of course, every time. And we have many of them already pre-built, so you can just apply them. Again, you can pick the ones you want, and we're not going to push on you the ones you don't. So you can be really lean and minimalistic. But say we want to attach some workflow that is configured in the visual editor. And you can see it's also pretty simple. You have several building blocks, some conditions, and some types of actions that you can apply. Here, for example, we built a simple one where by using a command, I'll show that in a minute. I think it's a really cool feature as well that speeds things up quite a bit. You can just add a quick comment on a ticket that is in focus, asking the person if there are any updates, if they haven't provided any in a while. So yeah, those are workflows, and the kind of the top are the apps. You can build custom apps for YouTrack. The way it works, we work through REST, like our front end communicates with the back through REST, and you can use all the same functions in your apps. And there are a few iframes where you can put your own UI, so you can really customize it further once you go more and more complex with your solution. So yeah, we've configured our project. There it is. Oh, I forgot to add. I wanted to show you how you can add another field that already exists, for example, for type, and then apply it to this project. But for the sake of time, we'll skip that. But yeah, we got our issues now in YouTrack. We have exactly the types of fields that we want, so nothing that we don't. We can use a super cool feature called commands. So you can just open a ticket to see what's inside. I mean, that's the usual stuff. We also have some AI. But let's go back and I'll show you. So for commands, you basically can type any command and do multiple actions on a ticket at the same time. So you can just write state in progress, and it will change it in progress, and you can do it for multiple tickets, obviously, at the same time. So it's a really fast way to make multiple changes to a set of tickets. And the cool part of these commands, they actually work from Git. So say you're here, you wanna edit some code, you change something, you wanna commit changes, and in the comment you just specify the tickets that you want to update, say select 6. Select 6, and we want to say that we started working on it, so we add state in progress. Let's see what happens. And we open the ticket. And you can see our commit, the status change in progress. So it's all automatic. You don't even have to go into YouTrack to do that. And the same thing works from our IDs. There is a plugin. Let me assign some tickets to myself. Again, I can just, sorry, still learning. You can do everything from the keyboard if you're a cool developer. I'm not. But I can do something like assignee me, and it will assign all these tickets to me, just like that. So super fast and easy. And now, let's hope it pulls our tickets here. So we are inside IDEA. I can see all the tickets assigned to me, sorted by priority. I work on something, I make some changes. And same way, I can just put here, select all. I can put some comment, click commit. Commit, okay. 1 sec. Let's do this just to make sure. Another ID. Okay. Yeah, okay. But basically, it goes and updates the ticket, and you can also do things like right from the IDE, you can open commands. And so, for example, you want to log work on the ticket. You don't have to go and find the ticket in YouTrack. You can just type here work. We worked on development. Say we worked today for 1 hour. Yeah, and let's apply. And that was, which ticket was that? Number 3. We can see the work got logged. Again, or you can see it in timesheets view, where all the time you logged is there. So you can check if you logged enough time for today. So yeah, it really simplifies the whole process. But if you want to push it, you can add a bunch of automations through workflows. So even more things will happen automatically, probably close. So to sum it up, and maybe leave some time for questions, what makes YouTrack different? So you can have really lean setup without any extra things that you maybe don't need, but you can build gradually and make it more complex. Fields and workflows that you can configure visually or through some JavaScript, super powerful, can build any type of logic in there. And once you get the hang of it, it's actually pretty easy and fast. And since, again, it's so, like the concept is so simple, you don't need to learn much. This is pretty much your main mechanism of building it. So once you get the hang of it, you just configure it any way you want. There are integration with DevTools and also our new AI tools that we are releasing, like Juni Coding Agent, for example. You can actually launch it from the IDE or from YouTrack. Say you automatically get a ticket created in YouTrack with some stack trace. We can set up an automation that launches our Juni agent that tries to fix it while you're having lunch. The way the app is built, you have REST to build anything with our app framework. So it also makes it pretty easy to build. Again, it's not something that a non-developer will be able to build maybe very fast. So you either have internal team or you work with partners. We are expanding our partner program, partnering with folks like Life and Codes. So they're going through certification now, so you can ask them to help. One thing we paid a lot of attention to is performance. So, for example, our own instance is supporting over 2,500 people, over 1 million issues, and it's as fast as what you've just seen me show, pretty much. Yeah, and it's super easy to start. We run both on-prem and on cloud. We are very cost efficient, so if you want to spin up a small instance, maybe for your small 20-people dev team, it's very easy. So yeah, that's it on my end. I think we are happy to offer some additional discount to attendees. Just talk to us and we'll think of something, how to do it. And yeah, if you have any questions, we'll be happy to do more detailed demos.
It's a deal. Let's pick the folks here, their brains on what you've just
Everyone
shared with
is just floored and stunned. No questions.
Wow.
I think this suits very, very well to small teams, developers team who already use IntelliJ IDEA. I was a former developer, and for a small teams, at that time when I was developer, it would be great at that time. But for large team who are already using Jira, I don't know how they can pass to another solution similar to Jira, even if it's very, very simple or simpler than Jira.
Sure, we actually see already that happening. So sometimes your Jira is pretty heavily regulated, especially if it's a large instance. Like, I don't know, I've seen Jiras with 5,000 users and there are 7 workflows, and that's all you got, and like 15 custom fields. But you actually need something better, more flexible, more convenient, so you can just easily set it up and run it side by side for your own team, and then like the whole company runs on the big Jira instance.